Which thanks for this release, 'tis bitter cold. I am taken hurt.
Have you had quite a start?
Had a mouse stirring.
Well, good night. If you do meet Horatia and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste.
I think I hear them. Stan, who's there?
Friends to this ground.
And legion to the day.
Good night to you.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier, who hath relieved you?
Bernardo has my spot. Good night to you.
Holla, Bernardo.
Say, what is Horatia there?
A piece of her.
Welcome, Horatia. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatia says 'tis but her fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of her. Nothing this dreaded sight twice seen of us, therefore, I have entreated her alone to watch the minutes of this night, and if this apparition do come again, she shall approve our eyes and speak to us.
Hush, hush. Will not appear.
Sit down a while and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story what we 2 nights have seen.
Well, sit me down and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, Marcellus and myself, the bell then being one,
Peace. Oh, look where it comes again.
in the same figure like the queen that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to him, Horatia.
Looks it not like the queen? Mark it, Horatia.
Looks like hair was given fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatia.
What art thou that usurps this time of night? Why haven't I charged thee? Speak!
See, he starts away.
Speak!
Tis gone, and will not answer.
How now, Horatia? You tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
For my God, I might not this believe without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the queen?
As thou art to thyself, 'tis strange.
Thus twice before hath she gone by our watch.
In what particular thought to work, I know not. But in the grossest scope of my opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good. Now sit down and tell me, he that knows, why this same strict and most observant watch doth make the night joint labor with the day. Who is it that can inform me?
That cannot, at least the whisper goes so. Our last queen, whose image even but now appeared to us. But stop, behold, Lord, where it comes again. I'll cross it with a blasphemy. Stay, Legion. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus.
Shall I strike it with my
Do
heart?
what even will not stand.
Tis here.
It's here.
'Tis gone. We do it wrong, being so majestical. To offer up the show of violence, for it is as the air, invulnerable, and our vain clothes, malicious mockery.
Break thee of our watch. And by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. And upon my life, this spirit dubbed to us will speak with her. If you consent, we shall make her with it as needful and unloved fitting our duty.
Let do it, I pray. I this morning know where we shall find her most conveniently.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear sister's death, the memory be we, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one realm above. Yet so fair hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on it, together in remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime brother, now our king, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, have we, as 'twere, with a defeated joy, with one auspicious and one drooping eye, with mirth in funeral and dirge in marriage in equal scale, weighing delight and dole taken to one. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone along with this affair for all our things. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
Dread, my lady, your leave and pardon to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty with your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done. My thoughts wishes then again towards France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your mother's leave? What says Polonio?
She hath, my lady. I do beseech you, give leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. less gracious, spend it at thy will. And now my cousin Hamlet and my daughter,
A little more than kin and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lady. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knightly color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble mother in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
I, my lord, it is common.
Well, if it be, why seemeth so particular with thee?
Seems, my lord? Nay, it is, I know not, seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good father, nor customary suits of solid black, together with all forms, moods, and shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed may seem from their actions that a man might play, but I have within which passive show these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your mother. But you must know your mother lost a mother. That mother lost hers, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to her oblivious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as a mother. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne. And with no less nobility of love than that which a dear mother bears her daughter, do I impart towards you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg is of most retrograde to our desire. We beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, choose courtier cousin and our daughter.
Let not thy father lose his prayers, Hamlet. I prithee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, my lord.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply. My lord, come. This gentle and unforced court of Hamlet sits smiling on my heart. Come away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh God. Oh God. How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fire. Fire. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a queen, and so loving to my father. God, must I remember? He would hang on her as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. Yet within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is man. A little month he married with my aunt, my mother's sister, but no more like my mother than I am to Hercules. Within a month he married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your ladyship.
I am pleased to see you well, Horatio. Or do I forget myself?
The same, my lady, and your poor servant of
My good friend. I'll change that in with you. But what make you quit your Horatio?
a truant disposition, good my lady.
I would not have your enemies say so, nor will you do mine ear that violence to make a truster of your own report. I know you are no truant. But come, what is your affair at Elsinore? We will teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
My lady, I came to see your mother's funeral.
Oh, I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my father's wedding.
Indeed, my lady, it followed hard upon.
Oh, thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. I would I had met my dearest foe in heaven ere I ever saw that day, Horatio. My mother. Methinks I see my mother.
Oh, where, my lady?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw her once. She was a goodly queen.
She was woman. Take her for all in all. I shall not look upon her like again.
My lady, I
think I saw her yesterday.
Saw? Who?
My lady, the queen, your mother.
The queen, my mother.
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver upon the witness this marvel to you.
For heaven's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste in the middle of the night when thus encountered. A figure, like your mother, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately. By them thrice she walked, by their oppressed and fear surprised, I stand dumb and speak not to you. This to me in dreadful secrecy and part they did, and I with them the third night kept the watch, whereas they had delivered, both in time and form of the thing each word made true and good the apparition comes. I knew your mother. These hands are not more like.
Where was this?
Upon the platform where we watched.
So you know her face?
My lady, I did.
Spoke you not to it?
Yes, my lady, but answer made it none. Yet, once we thought it could lift its head and address itself to motion like it would speak. But even then, it shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
It's very strange.
As I do live, my honored lady, 'tis true. And we did think it were down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, it is troublesome. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lady.
Armed, say you,
Armed men.
from top to toe.
My lady from head to foot.
So you know her face.
Oh, yes, my lady.
Looks she frowning?
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
You fixed your eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
How would I have been there?
You would have much amazed you.
Very light. Very light. Stayed long?
One with moderate haste might tell 100.
I'll watch tonight. Perchance we'll walk again.
I warrant you it will.
If it assume my noble mother's person, I will speak to it. But I pray you, Horatio, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it be trouble in your silence still. And whatsoever else shall happen tonight, give it an understanding but no tongue. I shall requite your love, and so farewell. On the platform betwixt 12 and 1, I'll visit you.
My duty to your honor.
Good love is mine to you. Farewell. My mother's spirit in arms, all is not well.
My necessaries are embarked. And brother, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
Or Hamlet in the trifling of her favor? Hold it a fashion of primary nature. Froward, not permanent. Sweet, not lasting. The suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more, but so.
Think of no more. Perhaps she loves you now, but you must fear. Her greatest weight, her will is not her own, for she is subject to her birth, and she may not, as unvalued persons do, care for herself. For on her choice depends the sanctity and health of the whole state. Therefore, her choice must be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof she is the head. Then if she says she loves you, if it's your wisdom so far to believe it, then weigh what loss your honor your 100 may sustain, if with too frequent ear you lift your song, or lose your heart, or keep your chaste treasure open to her unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelio. Fear it, my dear brother. Keep within the rear of your affection, out of the shock and danger of desire. Virtue itself makes not calamitous strokes. Be wary then. Best safety lies in fear. He to himself rebels, but none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keepeth watchman to my heart. But good my sister, do not as some ungracious pastors do. Show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whilst like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Fear me not. I stay too long, but here my mother comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet fear Laertes. Aboard, for shame. The beam that sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for there. My blessing with you. And these few precepts in thy memory. See thou character. thoughts no tongue, nor in any proportion thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast to their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy calm with entertainment of each unhatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in that, bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not express in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the woman. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as night to the day. Thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season is indeed.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lady.
Your time invites you, go. Your servant stand.
Farewell, dear Ophelia. Remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep it here.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, she has said to you?
Please use something touching the Lady Hamlet.
Mary, well bethought. 'Tis told me she hath very often late given private time to you, and you yourself among your audience have been most free and bounteous. If it is so, as 'tis put on me, and in that way of caution I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my son and your honor. What is between you? Give up the truth.
She hath, my lady of late, made many tenders of her affection.
Affection. You speak like a green knave. Do you believe her tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lady, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you obtain her tenders for true pay, which are not starling. Tender yourself more dearly. Roaming it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lady, she hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion,
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
and hath given countenance for speech, my lady, with all the vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the bloodbirds, how the prodigal soul gives the tongue vows. These blaze of sun giving more light than heat, extinct in both even in their promise as it is the making. You must not take for fire. For this time, son, be somewhat scanter of your name and presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than a command of parley. For Lady Hamlet believes so much in her that she is young, and with the larger tether may she walk than may be given to you. In you, Ophelio, do not believe her vows. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with Lady Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lady.
Your bite strictly. Is it very cold?
It is a big thing and keep your air.
But what I would know, I think it lasts a month.
No, it is strictly.
Think I heard it not?
And it draws near the season where this spirit helps her want to walk. Look, my lady, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, or a goblin dead, thou comest in such a questionable shape, I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, Queen, Mother, Royal Dame. Let me not curse in ignorance, but tell, wherefore and what should we do?
Beckons you to go away with it. As if it's some department you desire to do alone. Look with what courteous action walks you to more removed ground. But do not go with it, my lady.
If it will not speak, I will follow.
Do not go.
Why? What should we fear?
What if it tempt you toward the flood, my lady? Or to the dreadful sonnet of the cliffs that had to quiet your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it.
My fate cries out. Still I am called. Unhand me, Horatio.
Shall not go.
By heaven, I will make a ghost of her that lets me. Stay away. I'll follow.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Heaven will direct it.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak Please, I will go no further.
Mark,
I will.
my hour is almost come, and I, to solve thirst and tormenting flames, must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious ear to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am another spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, for the day confined to fasting fires, so the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But this eternal blazing must not be to tears of flesh and blood. List, Hamlet, list, if ever didst thy dear mother love.
Oh, heaven.
Revenge, my foul and unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder, most foul, as in the best it is, but this, most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste. Haste to tell it. That with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep me to my revenge.
I finally asked. Now Hamlet here. It's given out that while sleeping in mine orchard, a serpent stung me. And so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forced process of my death greatly abused. But know this, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy mother's life now wears her crown.
Oh, my pathetic soul. Mine aunt?
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterous beast, with witchcraft of her wits, hath traitorous gifts. Ah, wicked wits and gifts that have the power so to seduce. One too, the shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous king. Oh, Hamlet, what a falling off was there. For me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand, even in the vow I made to him in marriage. To decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts are born to those of mine. Brief let me be. While sleeping in my orchard, my custom always in the afternoon, upon my secure hour, my sister stole with juice of cursed heaven on in a vial, and in the porches of mine ear did pour the leprous distilment. Thus was I sleeping, by a sister's hand, life, crown, and king, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sins, unhoused, disappointed, unanailed, no reckoning made, but sent to my account with all my imperfections on my head. Horrible. Horrible. Most horrible. The hath nature in thee merit not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave him to heaven. Adieu. Adieu, Hamlet. Remember me.
What you host to heaven? Oh, earth. What else then shall I trouble heaven? Remember me? I, poor ghost, well memory, hold a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. That commandment shall live in the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Oh, villain. Villain, smiling, damned villain, that one may smile and be a villain. At least I know it may be so in Denmark. So, aunt, there you are. Now it is to my word. It is adieu. Adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it.
My lady!
Hello, hello.
My lady!
Come, bird, come.
Oh, what news, my lady?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lady, tell it.
No, will reveal it.
Not I, my lady. My
once think it. It will be secret.
I have it.
There is ne'er a villain dwelling in the state of Denmark, but she is an errant maid.
There needs no ghost, my lady, come from the grave to tell us this.
Quite right. You are in the right. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. But for your desire to know what else is between us, overmaster it as you may. And now, good friend, as you are a friend and a scholar, give me one poor request.
What's that, my lady? I will.
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lady, not I, by heaven.
They can swear it.
In faith, my lady, not I.
Upon my sword.
I have sworn, my lady, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed. Consent to swear.
Propose the oath, my lady.
Never to speak of that which you have seen. Swear by my sword. Horatio, lay your hand again upon my sword. Never to speak of that which you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Oh, day and night, this is but wondrous, strange.
Therefore, as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that can be dreamt of in our philosophy. Swear. Rest, return spirit.
Alas, my lady, I've been so frightened.
What in the name of heaven?
My lady, as I was here in my chamber, Lady Hamlet with her corset all raised, no hat upon her head, her stockings fouled, unguarded and down give to her ankle, the pale as her shirt, her knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport as if she had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors. She comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lady, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said she?
She took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes she to the length of all her arm, and with her other hand thus over her brow, she falls to such a perusal of my face as she would draw it. Long stayed she so, the last little shaking of my arm, and thrice her head thus waving up and down, she raised a sigh so piteous and profound that it did seem to shatter all her bulk and end her being. That done, she lets me go, and with her head over her shoulders turned, she seemed to find her way without her eyes, for out her door she went without their help, and to the last bedded their light on me.
Go with me. I will go seek the queen. This is the very ecstasy of love. I'm sorry. What, have you given her any hard words of late?
No, my good lady, but as you did command, I did repel her letters and deny her access to me.
That hath made her mad. I'm sorry that with better speed and judgment I now quoted her. Come, going to the queen, this must be known. Being kept close by two more grief to hide and hate out of love.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something, have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? So I call it. Since not the exterior nor the inward make resembles that it was. I entreat you both, that being of so young days brought up with her, that you vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little time, so as by your companies to draw her on to pleasures, and to never so much from occasions as you may glean, that open lies within our remedy.
Good gentle ones, she hath much talked of you, and sure I am two friends are not living to whom she more adheres. If it please you to show us so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time with us for a while, for the supply and profit of our hope, your visitation shall receive such thanks as fits a queen's remembrance.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your direct pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
We both obey, and here give up ourselves in full bent to lay our services freely at your feet, to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. I do beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed daughter.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and most helpful to her.
Amen.
I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God, one to my gracious queen, and I do think
or else this brain of mine runs not the trail of policy so sure as I had used to do, that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that we do long to hear.
I doubt it is no other but the main, her mother's death and our hasty marriage.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why, day is day, night, night, and time is time, were to nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness the limb's outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble daughter is mad. Mad, for to define true man is what is it, but to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter, with less art.
My lord, I swear I use no art at all. That she is mad. 'Tis true. 'Tis true. 'Tis pity, and pity it is true. A foolish figure, but farewell it is. I will use no art. Mad let us grant them, and it now remains that we find out the cause of this effect. Or rather say the cause of this defect. For the effect, defective, comes by cause, thus it remains the remainder thus. Repent. I have a son, whilst he is mine, who in his duty and obedience marked will give me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a wild phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear these in her excellent white bosom.
A kingdom from Hamlet to him?
Good my lord, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh dear Ophelio, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best believe it, adieu. Thy nevermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him. Hamlet. This in obedience hath my son shown me.
But how have you received her love?
Before my son told me what my duty before your dear majesty queen, think, that he should lock himself in her resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done, he took the fruit of my advice, and she repulsed. A short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, thence into a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness round now she raves, and we all will.
Do you think 'tis this?
It is very likely.
Had there been such a time, I'd say for that I positively said 'tis so, when it is proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where the truth is hid, though it were hid indeed, within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes she walks 4 hours together here in love.
She has indeed.
At such a time, I loose my son to her. Be you and I behind the arras then. Mark the encounter. If she loved him not, then be not from her reason and fallen thereon.
We will try it.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I beseech you, both away. I'll board presently. Give me leave. How does my good lady Hamlet?
Well, God mercy.
Do you know me, my lady?
Excellent, excellent, well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, woman.
Oh, then I would you were so honest a woman.
Honest, my lady.
Aye, sir. For to be honest as this world goes is to be one woman picked out of 2,000.
That's very true, my lady.
For if the sun breed maggots and a dead dog, be a good kiss and
Now
kiss.
say goodbye, that. She said I was a fishmonger. She is far gone, and truly in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near to this. I'll speak to her again. What do you read, my lady?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lady?
Between who?
I mean the matter you read, my lady.
Slander, sir. For gray beards and their faces are wrinkled. Why most powerfully and potently believe it to be true, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, ma'am, should be as old as I, if you, like a crab, could move backward.
Though this is madness, yet there is method. Will you walk out of the air, my lady?
Into my grave?
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes her replies are. A happiness that often madness hits on, which reason and sanity cannot so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave her, and suddenly contrive the means of meeting between her and my son. My lady, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, ma'am, take from me anything with which I will not more willingly part with all. Except my life. My life.
Fare you well, my lady.
It's tedious old fools.
You go to seek the Lady Hamlet? There she is.
God save you, madam.
Mine honored lady.
My most dear lady.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou Guildenstern? Oh, rose of crayons. Good friends, how do we both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy, in that we are not over happy. On Fortune's cap, we are not very button.
Know the soles of her shoe?
Neither, my lady.
So you look about her waist or the middle of her favors.
Faith, her privates would be.
Oh, in the secret parts of fortune? I most true, she's a strumpet. What's the news?
None, my lady, but that the world's grown honest.
Then it's doomsday here. But your news is not true. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, come to deserve at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lady?
Denmark is a prison.
Then is the world one.
I a goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lady.
Well, then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. And to me, it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Were it not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition, for the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
The dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly, and I hold ambition of so airy and light a quality that it is but a shadow.
Show it to the court, for by my say I cannot reason.
We'll wait upon you.
No such a matter. I will not have you counted with the rest of my servants, for to speak to you as an honest gentleman, I am most dreadfully attended. But in the beaten way of friendship, what make you an Elsinore?
To visit you, my lady, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you. And surely my thanks are not too dear a halfpenny? You not sent for? Is it a free visitation? Your own inclining? Come, may speak.
What should we say, my lady?
Anything but to the purpose you were sent for. And there is a kind of confession in your looks, that your markings have not craft enough to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lady?
Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, and I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
We were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall my anticipation prevent your discovery of her secrecy to the good king and queen. Moult no feather, I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of this world, the paragon of animals, and yet what is to me this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
My lady, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Then why did you laugh when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lady, if you delight not in man, what Lenten entertainment the players shall receive from you. We come to them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
What players are they?
Even those you were wont to take delight in, the tragedians of the city.
How chances it that they travel? Their residence both in reputation and profit were better both ways.
There are the players.
Gentle ones, welcome in Elsinore, your hands, come. But You're welcome, masters. Welcome both. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, passionate speech.
Oh, what a speech, milady.
I heard thee speak a speech once that I chiefly loved. 'Twas Aeneas' tale to Dido, or where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. If it live in your memory, begin at this line. Let me see. Black was his purpose, and the night himself. Woman cause conjoined, heralding mortal wisdom. With blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, baked and pasted in the parting streets that led a tyrannous and damned light to their wild murders, roasted in wrath and fire.
For God, my lady. Well spoken. With good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him, his antique sword rebellious to his arm, lies where it falls.
Pyrrhus at Priam drives, in rage strikes wide, but with the whip and wind of his fell sword, the under father falls.
And so as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood, and as a neutral to his will and matter did nothing. But as we often see in some such storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold winds speechless, and the orb below as hushed as death.
This is too long.
Then it shall to the barbers with your beard. Prithee, say on. She's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or she sleeps. Say on.
Look where she has not turned her color and has tears in her eyes. Pray you, no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest later. Good men, will you see these players well bestowed? Do you hear? Let them be well used, for they are the abstracts and brief chronicles of our time. After your death, you had better have a bad epitaph than their ill report while you lived. Come, masters. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Could you please murder Gonzago?
I'm a lady.
We'll have it tonight. Could you for a need study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert? Could you not?
I'm a lady.
Very well. Follow that lady. And look you walk her not.
Good, my lady.
Aye. So goodbye. Now I'm alone. What would a broken peasant slave of mine? What would she do, had she the motive and cue for passion that I have? She would drown the stage in tears, cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty, appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculty of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and money-meddled rascal, peak and can say nothing. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my mother before my aunt. I'll observe her looks. I'll tempt her to the quick. If she but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil. The devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Perhaps in my weakness and in my melancholy, as she is very potent with such spirits, she does abuse me to dare me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the queen.
She does confess she feels herself distracted, but from what cause she will by no means speak.
Nor do we find her forward to be bounded, but with a crafty madness she keeps aloof when we would bring her on to some confession of her true state.
Did she receive you well?
Most like a gentlewoman.
But with much forcing of her disposition.
Nigarda's question, but of our demands most free in her reply.
Did you essay to her any pastime?
My lord, as it so fell out that certain players we all wrought on the way. Of these we told her, and it did seem to bring in her a kind of joy to hear of it. They are about the court, and as I think, they have already ordered this night to play before her.
'Tis most true, and she beseech me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart it doth much content me to hear her so incline. Good gentle ones, give her a further edge, and drive her purpose on to these delights. We shall, my lady. Speakers, Rio, leave us. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, which she, as 'twere by accident, may there affront Ophelia. His mother and myself will bestow ourselves, so that seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather as she is behaved, if it
it be the affliction of her love, or no, that thus she suffers for?
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring her to her wonted way again to both your honors.
My lord, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk with me. We will bestow ourselves. The lady, come, let's withdraw.
To be? Or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep no more. For by that sleep to say we end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. Is a consummation proudly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep perchance to dream. Aye, but there is the rub, for in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil? Must give us pause. There is the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would suffer under the grunt and sweat of a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, does puzzle the will. It makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. Soft you now. The fair Ophelia, nymph in all thy risings. Be all my sins remembered.
Good my lady, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well, well, well.
My lady, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, I never gave you up.
My honor lady, I know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet brothers, made the gifts more rich than perfume left. But take these again, for to the noble mind, rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lady.
Are you honest?
My lady,
Are you fair?
what means your ladyship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should prove no discord to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lady, have better commerce than your honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is into a ball, than the power of honesty can transform beauty into its likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now time gives a proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lady, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our own stock, but we should relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a monastery. Why wouldst thou be a reader of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, but I could accuse me of such things that it would have been better had my mother not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my back than I have thoughts to put them in imagination, to give them shape, time to act them in. What should such maidens as I do crawling between heaven and earth? We are errant maids, all. Believe none of us. Go thy way to a monastery. Where is your mother?
At home, my lady.
Let the doors be shut upon her, that she may play the fool in no way but her own home. Very well.
Oh, help her, you sweet heavens.
If thou dost marry, I will give thee this plague as dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. And if you will needs marry a fool. For wise women know what monsters you make of them. To To a monastery go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore.
I have heard your prattlings too well enough. God has given you one pate, and you make yourself another. You gidge and amble and lisp and nickname God's creatures and make your wantonness your ignorance. Go to. I will no more on it, it has made me mad. I say we shall have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live, and the rest shall keep as they are. To a monastery, go!
What a noble mind is here overthrown. Here I of lords most dejected, wretched, that sucked the honey of her music vows. Now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled out of tune and marsh. That unmatched form and feature of lone youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to see what I have seen, to see what I see.
Love. Her affections do not that way tend, nor what she spoke, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There was something in her soul. Thus, set it down. She shall with speech to England.
Shall do well. But yet I do believe the origin and commencement of this grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lady Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lady, do as you please, but if you hold it fit after the play, let her king father all alone entreat her to show his griefs. Let him be round with her. I'll be placed so, please you, in the ear of all their conference. If you find her not, to England send her, and find her where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not be watched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced your speech, trimming young tongue. But if you mouth as your player does, I will have lived the town crier that's both my lives. Nor do not such air so much your hand thus, but use all gently. For the whirlwind of passion comes to fire, and you get a temperance that you get a smoothness. It offends me to the soul to see a robustious and hairy, weak-painted fellow fill a passion to tatters, to wear rags, to split the ears of the groundlings, who for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I get a fellow whipped for overdoing it, and I do pray you avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
There have been players that I have seen play and have heard others praise, that have so strutted and bellowed that I have felt that nature's journeymen had made men and had not made them well. They imitated him and they swore abominably.
I hope you perform that indifferently with us, little lady.
Perform it all together, and let he who plays your clown speak no more than I set down for him. Come, make you ready. Good, my lady. Let the queen see this piece of work,
And the king too, and that presently.
if the players make haste. Well, go, Horatio.
Here, sweet lady, at your service.
Horatio, thou art a woman, as ere my conservation cope withal.
Oh, my dear lady.
Nay, do not think I flatter. For what advance then may I hope from thee that no revenue passed with thy good spirits? For thou hast been one in suffering all that suffers nothing. A maid with fortune buffers and rewards obtain evil thanks. And blessed are those whose blood and judgment are so well commingled that they are not a pipe for fortune's finger to sound what stop she please. Give me that maiden that is not passion's slave, and I will wear her in my heart's core. I in my heart of hearts as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the queen. One scene of it comes near the circumstance that I have told thee, of my mother's death. I pity, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of my soul, observe mine aunt. Give her a needful note, for I mine eyes will rivet to her face, and after we will both our judgments join to censure and perceive.
Well, my lady, if she steal aught while the play is playing and escape detected, I will pay the theft.
You're coming to the play. I must be out of a equal place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air promised crack. You cannot feed cadence. his metal more crack.
Do you mark that?
My lord, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lady.
I leave my head upon your lap.
I, my lady.
Oh, did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lady.
It is a fair thought to lie between a knave's legs.
What is my lady?
Nothing.
You are married, my lady.
Who, I?
I, my lady.
Oh God, you're only jig maker. What else should a woman do but be married? Why, look how cheerfully my father looks, and my mother is dead but 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lady.
So long. Nay, then let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Oh heaven, die 2 months and not forgotten yet? Then there is hope. A great woman's memory may outlive her life, half a year.
What means this, my lady?
Mary, this is mischief.
Belike this show imports the argument of the play.
Oh, we shall know by these fellows. Players cannot keep counsel, they will tell all.
Will they tell us what the show meant?
I already showed you the show. Be not ashamed to show, she will not shame to tell you what it means.
You are not, I'll mark the play.
Shh! For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Is this a prologue or the poesy of a raven?
'Tis brief, my lady.
As man's love.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again count o'er, ere love be done.
And thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and happy, one is kind.
Such love must needs be treason in my breast. In second wife let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first?
Wormwood. Wormwood.
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my wife dead, when second wife kisses me in bed.
But orderly to end where I begun, our wheels and fates do some contrary run, yet our devices still are overthrown. Our thoughts are ours, our ends none our own. So think thou wilt no second wife wed, but die thy thoughts when thy first wife is dead.
My lord, how like you this play?
The Lord protests too much, methinks.
I believe he will keep his word.
Have you heard the argument, or is there no offense in it?
No, they do but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The mousetrap. Mary, how you shall see anon. It is a knavish piece of work, but what of that? Your majesty, and we that have free souls. It touches us not. Let the gall jay witch, our withers are unwrung.
You are a good chorus, my lady.
I could interpret between you and your love if I could see the puppet dallying.
You are keen, my lady, you are
It
keen.
would cost you a groaning to take off my edge.
Still better, and worse.
Begin, murderer! Pox, leave thy damnable face and begin. Come, the croaking raven doth bellow for revenge. Thoughts black, hands apt, drugs fit, and time agreeing. Confederate season, else no creature see. Thou mixture red of midnight beats collected. Of Hecate's bed, thrice blasted, thrice infected. Thy natural magic and dire taunting, all wholesome life usurp immediately. She poisons her in the garden for her estate. We shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's husband.
The queen rises.
Find the false fire.
How fares my lady?
Give her the play.
Give me some light. Away.
Lights!
When the strucken deer go weak, the heart of knowledge play. For some must watch, while some must sleep, so runs the world away. Oh, Horatio, I'll take the ghost's word for £1,000. Proceed.
Very well, my lady.
Upon the talk of the poisoning,
I did very well, though.
lights!
And now it is certain. This queen's conscience is heavy with deceit, and her hands bloody with sister's murder. Queen Hamlet's ghost speaks the truth indeed. And now Hamlet will sure speak to her revenge. Break we up our watch, and by my advice, let us meet here again when the bell tolls.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Tasty, tempting hot dogs, thirst-quenching soft drinks, fresh, crunchy popcorn, a complete assortment of delicious candy, and a full line of cigarettes. You've plenty of time, so visit the snack bar now. A tasty treat will double your enjoyment of the show. For your convenience, we shall keep you informed of the remaining intermission time, 3 minutes before the next show starts. The next show will start in 2 minutes.
Just a minute, folks. Yes, that's all it takes to visit our refreshment counter in the lobby. There you'll find popcorn and an assortment of popular candy bars to please every taste. Try one of these delicious candy bars. Big Time, Butternut, Milkshake, Payday, topped with Hollywood's super rich coating of the kind you like best. They taste wonderful, they're delicious, they're nutritious. Get one at our confection counter in the lobby now.
The next show will start in 1 minute.
Come back to the ticket booth after the show to collect your prizes. We would be happy to give them to you. And with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of Hamlet.
Good, my lady.
I am tame, sir. Pronounce.
The king, your father, and most great affiliation of spirit, has sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good, my lady. This courtesy is not of the right breed. If it shall please you to make me a wholesome answer, I will do your father's commandment. If not, your pardon and my return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot
What?
make you a wholesome answer. My wit's diseased. But what answers as I can make, you shall command. Or so you say, my father. No more wits than that. My father, you say?
Then thus he says, your behavior has struck him into amazement and admiration.
What a wonderful father. God is and so astonished father. Is there no sequel to this father's admiration?
If he desires to speak with you in his closet ere you go to bed,
We shall obey when we 10 times our father. Have you any further trade with us?
my lady, you once did love me.
So do I still by these pickers and stealers.
Good, my lady. What is the cause of your distemper? You do freely bar the door of your own liberty if you deny your griefs to your friend.
Ma'am, I lack advancement.
How can that be, when you have the voice of the Queen herself for your succession in Denmark?
I, but But while the grass grows, the proverb is something musty. Why would you go about to recover the wind of me, as though you would blow me into a toil?
Oh, my lady, if my duty be too bold, my love is too unmannerly.
I do not well understand that. Will you play upon this pipe?
My lady, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know not the touch of it, my lady.
It is as easy as lying. Cover these vestiges with your fingers, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most excellent music. But you, here are the stops.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Well, look how unworthy you think with me. You would play upon me. You would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery and sound me from my lowest note to the top of my compass. There is much music, excellent voice in this little organ. Yet cannot you make it. Call me what instrument you will, though you can fret me, you cannot play me. God bless you, sir.
My lady, the king would speak with you, and presently.
Do you see that cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel?
By the mist, it is like a camel indeed.
Methinks it is like a weasel,
It is backed like a weasel,
or like a whale.
very like a whale.
Then I shall come to my father by and by. Fixing me to the top of my bed. I will come by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, then. Soft now to my father. The heart was not by nature. I must be cruel, but not unnatural. I will speak daggers to him, but I will use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrite.
I like her not, nor stands it safe with us to let her madness rage. Therefore prepare you. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and she to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so dangerous as doth hourly grow out of her lunacies.
We will ourselves provide. Most holy and religious fear it is to keep those many, many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
The single and peculiar life is bound by all the strength and armor of the mind.
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage.
My lady, she's going to her father's closet. Behind here, I shall convey myself to hear the process. I'll call upon you or you go to bed and tell you where I am.
Thanks, dear my lady. Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it. Sister's murder. Pray can I not? With inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. Both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with sister's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Where too serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? Fault is past, but oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder! That cannot be, since I am still possessed of the effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition. And my king. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. 'Tis not so above. Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? O wretched state, O bosom black as death, O
well. Now I might do it back. Now she was praying. And now I'll do it. And so she goes to heaven. And so I am revenged that would be scared. This villain killed my mother. And so I, her foul daughter, do this same villain send. She took my mother grossly, full of bread, with all of her crimes broad blown as fresh as May, and how her audit stands, who knows, save heaven. But with our circumstance and course of thought, it is heavy with her. And so am I revenged to take her in the purging of her soul when she is fit and seasoned for her passage? No. Upsword, and no doubt a more horrid bent. When she's drunk asleep, or in her rage, or in the incestuous pleasures of her bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it, then I'll trip her. And her heels may kick at heaven, and her soul may be as damned and black as the hell whereto it goes. My father stays. Thy physic but prolongs thy sickly days.
My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
She will come straight. Look you, lay hold to her. Tell her her pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace has screened and stood between much heat and her. I'll silence myself in here. Pray you, be round with her.
Father, father, father!
I'll warrant you, fear me not. Withdraw. I hear her coming.
How now, father?
Hamlet, thou hast thy mother much offended.
Father, thou hast my mother much offended.
Come, come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, go, you question with an idle tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Hast thou forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the king, and your wise sister's husband. But were you not so, you are still my father.
Oh, oh, well, nay then. I'll set those to you that can speak.
Sit you down. You shall not budge till I may set up a glass where you must see the inmost part of me.
What will thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help! Help! Oh, help!
Help! Oh, help! Dead for a dead. Dead.
I am slain!
Oh, what hast thou done?
I know not, is it the queen?
Oh, what rash and bloody deed is
A
this?
bloody deed almost as bad, good father, as kill a queen and marry with her sister.
As kill the queen?
Aye, my lord, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. Now sit you down, so I may bring up your heart, for so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done? That thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the blush of modesty and calls virtue hypocrite, makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths. Oh, such a deed.
I need what act that bores so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two sisters. Look what a grace was seated on her brow. This was your wife. And look you now what follows. Here is your wife, like a mildewed ear blasting her wholesome breath. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leap to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame and humble, and it waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? What devil was it that hath cozened you at Goodman Bly? Oh, shame, where is thy blush?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turns mine eyes to my very soul. And there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their taint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an seamed bed. stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over nasty sty.
Speak no more. These words like daggers entered mine ears. No more speak
A
Hamlet.
murderer and a villain. A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of our president lady. A cutpurse of the empire and the rule that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put in her pocket.
No more.
You tread in patches. Save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly God. What would you, gracious figure?
Alas, she's mad.
Have you not come here tardy daughter to chide that lapsed in time and judgment does let go of the important acting of your dread command? Say.
But look, amazement on my father sits. Oh, step between him and his fighting soul. Speak to him, Hamlet.
How is it, Lord?
Alas, how is it with you? That you bend your eye on vacancy, and with their corporal air do hold discourse. Forth from your eyes your spirits wildly peep, and as speaking soldiers in the alarm, your bended hair like life and excrement starts up and stands on end. Oh, gentle daughter, upon the heated flame thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On her. Look how pale she glitters, her form and cause conjoined, drifting to stones that make them hateful. Do not look upon me, lest with this hideous action you convert my stern offense. Yet what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance from blood.
To who do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nay, nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing here?
Nothing but ourselves.
Look at it now, how it steals away. It's my mother, in her habit as she lived. Look how she goes even now out of the portal.
Oh. This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time, and it makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent what's past and avoid what is to come.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my aunt's bed. Sue virtue. Once more, good night. I will bestow her, and will answer well the death that I gave her. So again, good night. It must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast sent to me.
I must to England, you know that?
Oh, alack, I had forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
This woman shall set me packing. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave. Who was in love? What a foolish, prating maid. Come on, madam, draw toward an end with you. Good night, Father.
There's matters in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate to fit me understand them. Where is your daughter?
Oh, my lady, what have I seen tonight?
What, Petruchio? How does Hamlet?
As mad as the seas and wind when boats contend, which is the mightier. In her lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, she whips her dagger out and cries, "A rat, a rat!" And in her brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good woman.
Heavy deed. It hath been so with us had we been there. Her liberty is full of threats to all, to you, yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? To keep it from divulging lets it feed even on the pit of life.
Where is she gone?
Draw apart the body she has killed. She weeps for what is done.
Oh, Bertulio, come away. Go, guilty sir. Hamlet in madness hath Polonia slain, and from her father's closet hath she dragged her. Go, seek her out and speak fair, and bring the body to the chapel. I pray you hasten this. Safely so. What have you done, my lady? With the dead body, compounded with dust whereto it is kin. Tell us where it is, that we may take it hence and bear it to the chapel. Do not believe it. Believe what? That I may keep your counsel and not my own. Besides, to be commanded of a sponge, what replication should be made of the daughter of a queen? Take you me for a sponge, my lady? Aye, sir. That so set the queen's countenance and boards and good authorities. But such officers do the queen best service in the end. She keeps you like an egg in the corner of her jaw, the first mouth to be the last to swallow. When she needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you and the sponge. You're dry again. I understand you not, my lady. I'm glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear. My lady, you must tell us where the body is, and go with us to the queen. The body is with the queen. But the queen is not with the body. The queen is a thing.
Thing, my lady?
Of nothing. Take me to her. Hide, fox, and all after. Now, Hamlet, where is Polonia? At supper. At supper, where? Not where she eats, but where she is eaten. A certain convocation of worms are eating at her now. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar are two dishes to one table and to the end. What dost thou mean by this? Only to tell you how a queen may go through the guts of a beggar. Where is Polonia? In heaven. Send hither for her, but if your messenger find her not there, you may seek her in the other place yourself. However, if you find her not this month, you will nose her as you go up the stairs into the lobby. Go, seek her there. She will stay until you come. Hamlet, for that which thou hast done must send me forth with fierce quickness for England. For England? Aye, Hamlet. Good. So is it if thou knowst our purpose. For England. Good night, dear father. Thy loving mother, Hamlet. My father. Mother and father is man and wife, and man and wife is one flesh. And so, my father. Come, for England. Follow her foot, tempt her with speed of order, delay it not, I'll have her hence tonight. My lord, Ophelio.
I will not speak with him.
He is importunate. Indeed, distract his mood will needs be pitied.
What would he have?
He speaks much of his mother. Says he hears there's tricks in the world and hems and beats his heart, spurns enviously at straws, and speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. His speech is nothing, yet the unshapely use of it doth move the hearers to reflection. Whereas his winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed, would make one think there would be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappily.
'Twere good he were spoken with, for he may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. Let him come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great abyss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself, in fearing to be spilt.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelio?
How should I your true love know from another one? By her cockle hat and staff and her sandal show.
My sweet lord, what imports this song?
Say you? Nay, pray you mark. She is dead and gone, Lord, she is dead and gone. And her head a grass green turf, and her heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelio.
Pray you mark. White her shroud as the mountain snow. Lauded with sweet flowers.
Alas, my lady,
who
look at
wept
this.
The grave did not go with true love showers.
How do ye, good lord?
Well, God yield you. They say the owl was the baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
And seat upon his mother.
Pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning of time, and I, a knave at your window, to be your Valentine. And up she rose, and down the clothes, and down the chamber door. Let in the name, the thousand knave, and ne'er depart more.
Pretty you.
Indeed, La, without an oath I'll make an end out. By Jesus and by St. Charity, the lacking five for shame, young men will do it if they come to it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. And what I had done by yonder sun, and hadst thou not come to my bed?
How long hath he been this?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep, to think they should like her the cold ground. My sister shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night.
Follow him close, give him good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It all springs from his father's death. Which when sorrows come, they come not in single spies, but in battalions.
Alack! What noise is this?
What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. Oh, young Laertes and Ryan, his head doth overbear your officers. The rebel called her lady, they cried, choose we, Laertes shall be queen. Caps, hands, and tongues applaud to the clouds, Laertes shall be queen, Laertes queen.
How cheerfully in the false trail they cry. Oh, this is counter, you false Danish dogs.
The doors are broken.
Oh, thou vile thing, give me my mother.
Call me good Laertes.
That drop of blood that comes proclaims me bastard.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giants-like? Let her go, Petruchio.
Where is my mother?
Dead.
But not by her.
Let her demand her fill.
How came she dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation, to this point I stand, that both worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my mother.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world, and for my means I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your mother's death, if right in that revenge, that sweepstake, you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser.
None but her enemies.
Will you know them then?
To her good friends, thus wide I'll open my arms, and like a kind, life-rendering politician, repay them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentlewoman. That I am guiltless of your mother's death and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
How now, what noise is this? Dear knave, kind brother, sweet Ophelio. Oh, heavens, is it possible a young knave's wit should be as immortal as an old woman's life? Nature tis fine in love, and where tis fine it sends a precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They bore her bare face on the bier, hey nan nani hey nani, and on her grave rings many a tear. Fare you well, my love.
Hadst thou thy wits?
You must sing down and down, and you call him down up. How the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
This nothing's more than matter.
There's Rosemary, that's for remembrance. May love remember. And there's Pansy, that's for thoughts.
Documented thoughts, madness, and remembrance well fitted.
There's Fennel for you, and there's Columbines. There's room for you, and here's some for me. We may call it Her Grace of Sunday, so you must wear your with the difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered on when my mother died. They say she made a good end. For bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thoughts, affliction, vigor and to prettiness.
And will she not come again? And will she not come again? No, no, she is dead. Go to thy deathbed. She never will come again. She is gone. She is gone. And we cast away moan, gramercy on her soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God by thee.
Do you see this, you gods? Let this be so, my mother's death, her obscure burial, no trophies, sword, nor hatchment or her bones, no noble rite, nor formal ostentation. This I must call the question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall.
And so have I a noble mother lost, a brother driven to desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps, for that you must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull. I loved your mother, and we love ourselves, and that I hope. How now, what news?
Letters, my lady, from Hamlet. This to your majesty.
From Hamlet. Laertes, you shall hear them. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your queenly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasions of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse or no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked and in postscript. Here she says alone. Can you advise me?
I'm lost in it, milady. But let her come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live to tell her to her teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, is how it should be so, how else will you be ruled by me?
If so, you'll not go rule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. I will work her to an exploit, now write me my device, under the which she shall not choose but fall. And for her death no wind of blame shall breathe, that even her father shall uncharge the practice and call it an accident. Laertes, was your mother dear to you?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your mother. Hamlet returned. What would you undertake to prove yourself your mother's daughter indeed more than in words?
To cut her throat at the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds, but good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned, shall hear you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence. And wager on your head, she being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils. So that with ease, or a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a pace of practice requite her for your mother.
I will do it. For that purpose, shall anoint my sword. I bought an unction of Mountebank, so mortal, I've a dip tonight in it. I'll touch my point. Where it draws blood with this contagion, should it gall her slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think on this. Soft, let me see. We'll make a solemn wager on your comings. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as made your bouts more violent and she calls for drink, I'll have prepared her a chalice for the nuts, whereon would speak if she escaped your venison. Our purpose may go there. How now, sweet king?
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast it follow. Your brother's drowned, Clares.
Drowned? Where?
There's a willow that grows askance a brook, that shows its four leaves in the glassy stream, and there, with fantastic grounds did he come, of crowflowers, nettles, and daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. Upon the pendant boughs his coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke. When down his weedy trophies himself fell in the weeping brook, his clothes spread wide, and murmuring like a while, they bore him up, at which he chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of his own distress, or like a creature native and endued into that element. But long it could not be, till his garments, heavy with his drink, pulled the poor wretch from his melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas then, is he drowned?
Drowned.
Too much water hast thou already, poor Ophelio. Therefore I forbid my tears. But 'tis our trick and nature's custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When this is done, the man will be out. And to my lady, I have a speech that would fain fire, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow Petruchio. How much I had to do to conquer rage, now I fear this will even start him. Therefore, let's follow.
I tell thee he is, and therefore make his grave straight. The crowner hath sat on him, and finds it Christian burial.
How can that be? Unless he drowned himself in his own defense.
Nay, but hear you, Goodman Delver.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man go to the water and drown himself, it is willy-nilly he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death, shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
I marry it is. Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentleman, he should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why, there thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my slave. There's no ancient gentlemen but gardeners, ditchers, and gravediggers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
He was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art a heathen? Dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says, Adam did. Could he dig
The gallows maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well in faith. The gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Thou dost ill to say the gallows is no stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows shall do well to thee. Do it again. Come.
Who builds stronger than the shipwright, the mason, or the carpenter?
Ah! Tell me that and not you.
Merely now I can tell.
Do it.
Oh, Mass, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend it face with beating. And when you're asked this question next, say a grave maker. Now houses he build best till doomsday. Go! Get P.T. Ogden and fetch me a soup. Oh, in youth, when I did love thought it was very sweet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at the grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easy.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier sex. This skull had a tongue in it, and it could sing once how the name chouts it to the ground as though it were Cain's jawbone of murder. Might it not?
It might, my lady.
Or the skull of the courtier, who would say, "Good morrow, my lord. How dost thou, good lord?" Might it not?
It might.
Here's another. Why might not this be his career? Why does he suffer his rude name to drop him about the stocks with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land. Is this the find of his finds? The recovery of his recoveries to have his fine pate filled with fine dirt? And shall the inheritor have no more?
Not a lot more, my lady.
I will speak with this fellow. Whose grave is this, sir?
Mine, my lady.
I think it be, for thou liest in it.
You lie outside of ma'am, and yet it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it. To be in it and say it is thine. It is for the dead and not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, ma'am, to away men.
What man dost thou dig it for?
Oh, for no man, ma'am.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Then who is to be buried in it?
One that was a man, ma'am. But alas, he is dead.
How absolute this name is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it the day that our last queen overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Not you tell that, every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that was mad, sent to England.
Why was she sent to England?
Because she was mad. She shall recover her wits there. Or if she do not, it's no great matter.
Why?
It will not be seen in her there, for there the women are as bad as she.
How came she mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely.
Faith, even with losing her wits.
On what ground?
Why, here in Denmark.
How long will a man lie here before he rots?
If he be not rotten before he die, he will last you some 8, 9 years. A tanner will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, man, his hide is so tanned with his trade that it'll keep out water a great while. And that water is a poor decayer after worse than body.
me on his back 1,000 times. How abhorred my imagination is, my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, flashes of merriment? No one now to mock your own jeer. I prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lady?
Do you think that Alexander looked of this fashion in the air?
Even so, my lady.
And smelled so?
Even so.
To what base uses may be returned, Horatio? Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returns to dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loam. And why of that loam might they not stop a beer barrel? Soft you now. Here come the king and courtiers. Who is that they follow with such maimed cries? Couch me a while and mark.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
His obsequies, and as far and large as we have warranted. His death was doubtful, and save the great commander sways the order, he should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet. Charitable prayer, shards, flints, and people should be thrown on him. Yet, here he is. Here he lies. His maiden, allowed his maiden virtues, his knavish instruments, and bringing home a bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing sage requiem to such as, and peace to him as to peace parted souls.
Lay him in the earth, and from his fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my brother be when thou liest Hamlet.
What? Fair Ophelio?
Sweet to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's husband. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet knave, and not to have strewed thy grave.
Oh, terrible whore, fall 10 times treble upon thy cursed head, whose wicked deeds thy most ingenious sense deprived me of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught him once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, and tell of this flat mountain you have made.
What is she whose grief bears such emphasis? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul.
Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fittings from out. Lady, though I be not splenitive and rash, yet I have something in me dangerous, which let thy wiseness fear. Hold off my hand.
Let them asunder.
and the dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon her.
You will lose this wager, my lady. I do not think so.
While she has been in France, I have been in continual practice. I will win at the odds. But wilt thou know how I fear about my heart?
Nay, good my lady.
It's foolery. But it is a kind of game giving as may perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind dislike anything obey, I will forestall their care hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy honor. There is a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. Readiness is all, for no woman has aught of what she leaves. What is there to be betimes?
Come, Hamlet. Come and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon. I have done you wrong. What I have done, I here proclaim, was madness. Was it Hamlet who wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. But when she is not herself, she does wrong Laertes. And Hamlet does it not, and Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? Her madness, if it be so. Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. Her madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Let my disclaiming from purpose evil set me so far in your most generous thoughts.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should serve me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I do receive your offer of love like love, and will not wrong it.
Embrace it freely. And will the sisters wager frankly play? Give us the foils. Come on.
Come, one for me.
I will be your foil, Laertes, in my ignorance. Your skill shall like a star in the darkest night shoot fiery off and be.
You mock me, madam?
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Horatio. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lady. Your grace hath laid the odds at her weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since she is better, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see the other.
This likes me well.
Aye, good, my lady. Set the stoops of wine upon that table. And now the queen shall drink to Hamlet. Come begin, and you the judges bear a wary eye.
Come on, madam.
Come on, madam.
What?
No! Judgment! A hit, a very probable hit.
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health.
Give her the cup. I will play this bout first. Set by a while. Come another hit, what say you?
A touch, I confess.
Our daughter shall win.
Here's a napkin. Rub thy brows.
Should my lord.
The king carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Retreat or do not drink.
I will, my lady. I pray you. Pardon me.
This poison cup. It is too late.
Let me rub thy face.
I'll hit her now, my lady. Yet this is almost against my conscience.
Come, learn, Laertes. You but down. I do pray you pass your best violence. I am feared you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on. That's
What look to the king there? Oh! They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lady? How is it, Laertes?
I am the woodcock to mine's French, Horatio. I'm justly killed by mine own treachery.
Does the king? Sounds to see them bleed.
No, the drink. My dear Hamlet, the drink. I am poison.
be barred. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee, there is not half an hour of life. Treacherous instrument is in thy own hand. Unbaited and envenomed, the foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, ne'er to rise again. Thy father's poison, I can no more. The queen's to blame.
That's true. And venom to thy work. Yet defend me from thy own hurt. Here, thou incestuous murders, damned thing. Drink off this potion. Is thy union there? Follow my father.
She is justly served. It is a poison tempered by herself. In exchange for forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my mother's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee forgiven. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. And you that look pale or tremble at this chance. There are mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, oh, I could tell you. Let it be. Thou livest. Report me in my cause right to the unsatisfied. Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a man. Here's yet some liquor left, as thou art a woman. Give me the cup. Let go, by heaven. I'll have it. Horatio. What a wounded thing. Standing thus alone, does leave behind me. If thou could ever hold me in thy heart, set thee from felicity a while. To draw thy breath in pain, to tell my story. I'm dead, Horatio. The potent potion quite o'ergrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England. The rest is silence.
Now, perhaps a noble heart. Good night, sweet princess. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Where is this fight?
What is it you can see? In aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
Oh, proud death, that thou so many princes that shoot so cleverly have struck. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing to tell her commandment is fulfilled. The Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where shall we find our thanks?
Not from her mouth. Have it the abilities of life to thank you. Give order that these bodies high on stage be placed to view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver, and of this I shall have always cause to speak. Let four captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for she was likely had she been put on to prove most worthy. And for her passage, the soldiers' music and rites of war speak loudly for her. A fight such as this becomes the field, yet here shall much miss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. I'll turn my eyes to my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots, and will not entertain.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an inseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making the love of thy nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your present lady, a vice of means, a cutpurse of the empire, and that on a shelf, the precious diadem stolen, put in her pocket.
No more.